Hello viewers, hopefully you can hear me, you can see the stream fine. Welcome to the eSeniors GT3 Championship warm-up race taking place at the wonderful Mount Panorama, also known and referred to as Bathurst. Also, the track of death, I think it's fair to say. Mainly because if you hit something, it's game over. It's a very, very good technical track, but there's not much room for any leeway in errors. If you're through the mountain area, you get a bit of over rotation, you're going to be into the barriers, and it's pretty ruthless with damage. The other problem you've got is if you're in racing and there's damage and you hit the barriers, there's got a lot of cars going to pile into you as well, so it just compounds the problem. So I think it's going to be interesting to see where this goes. What makes it more exciting is there's 33 cars on track, so there's going to be no breath. The sun's starting to rise with it being a 6 o'clock qualification, and I think we're going to see some fantastic views, especially with the recent DLSS update. Now we are trying something different today. It's a proof of concept to see if it'll work, and what we're looking to do is we're going to try a bit of live stewarding. So I do have a steward with me who's also watching the game, and any incidents will be reviewed by the steward, and then they will be relayed back via the chat. Now we appreciate not everyone's going to have the chat on, so what we're going to do is initially probably just apply time penalties, because if you get a stop and go or a drive through, I think the game tells you that anyway. If this concept works, we'll probably start introducing a Discord channel that everyone comes to for the race. They keep the mics off, so obviously it's meant to be quiet, and then any penalties or any alerts of incidents they need to be aware of can be issued to the drivers in advance, just to try and eliminate the number of incidents. Obviously, if you know you're going to get an immediate penalty rather than after the race, you're more likely to pay attention. So without further ado, I'm going to go to the stream. So the steward is with me. The name shall remain anonymous, but if you're very good at voice recognition, you can welcome him. So I will welcome the steward, who's currently sat, not actually sat with me, but virtually sat with me. And I really have no idea where this is going to take us in relation to the race. This is an extremely difficult track, as we know. We're currently on board with Merch. When Merch has finished a lap, what I will do is I will do my usual lap guide. Thankfully, there's no difficult to read or speak names on this one. This is where they could do with Ollie in it. Ollie telling us what the Australian slang for them is. But anyway, let's jump on board and sit on, you know, what Merch is doing. So we'll just get on board cockpit view of Merch. Look at that sun. That's going to cause bedlam as it rises for the VR guys. Wow, looks beautiful, doesn't it? All the mist in the distance. So Merch is in the BMW. We'll wait till he gets onto the start finish. I think he might have already done a lap because we're 16 minutes in. Hi Kai. Hi Frank. Hi Melvin. I thought you might say that, Melvin. It's just a little bit different. There's now 34 cars on track. 34 cars. Wow, I'm just working. Yeah, so one of them is Jeremy's. So 34 cars. I think that's the most we've seen in a long time. So I think there was a couple of comments earlier on in a couple of weeks ago saying people are starting to get a little bit bored. 34 cars is telling me otherwise. So it's certainly going to be interesting, shall we say. Here we go. Start finish straight. It's coming up to corner 1, and it's called Hell Corner. What a name. Get it wrong and it's hell. Get your power down. You'll eventually drift the car to the left, then you get a little kink in the road, it'll drop down. This is called the Mountain Straight. If you get the good run here, you can get a pass, and it is a pass in place, but it can be quite risky if you don't have the pace or the speed. Hi Derek. He's now coming up to Quarry, turn 2, and he'll want to keep the car on the inside and drift to the left. As he comes up, he'll get the car to the right, and this is called the cutting, and this is corner 3, 4 and 5. And as we get up to this little bit here on the right hander, this is Griffin's Mount, and that takes us into corner 6, down to corner 7, which is Reed Park, and then corner 8, which is Frog Hollow. Quickly followed by corner 9, Sulman Park. Then the left-hander here, John Hicksman Vista. And then McPhillamy Park and down to Skyline. Through corners 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, which is known as the S's. So something is in common with the last track we've done. As we come to the bottom of this, we get to corner 18, which is the sharp left-hander, called the Big Dipper. And as this just starts to straighten out, there's a kink, and this is called Forest's Elbow. Then we've got the fantastic passing straight of Conrod. So this is the Conrod straight. This is where you can really get the cars going, get that top end, get that slipstream, and get that car past before you get into the right-hander, which is corners 20, 21 and 22, which is referred to as the chase. So this is corner 21. And then that takes us into corner 22. And then we're coming down to the final corner, which is a left-hander called Murray's Corner. And that is corner 23. So a hell of a lot of corners on this Australian track. And that lap was a 2:03.8. And that's put Merch in second place, only just behind Patricio Ongaro. So we know the fast guys are on this track. Patricio, we know, is very, very quick. Peter's also joined the fray. Peter's joined us on a Monday. Good to see you, Peter. I've really no idea what's going to happen on this. There are so many cars. And as I said, one incident, it could be an absolute disaster. So I'm just going to get myself a pen and a piece of paper. And what I'm doing is I'm going to note down any incidents that may occur and time penalties that are given. Obviously this is a trial. If something goes wrong, we need to be able to make sure we can rectify it ourselves. So we're just making sure we're going to keep track of everything. I'm just going to get myself a piece of paper while that's running in the background. I'm working with my associate. There we go. With a better pen than that one, to be honest. I suppose it doesn't really matter. And all I'm going to do is write down the car numbers and any penalties that are issued. So a time penalty doesn't require a visit to the pits, but it will be added on towards the end. So I'm just looking at Peter's time. Peter's 4/10 up. This isn't going to put him in to the 2:03s at the moment, although he's now going a little bit quicker, and that toe's going to help massively. So he's going to get a really good toe off that Porsche in front. He's 5/10 up, so he's now going into 2:03s. He really needs this section to be absolutely nailed. Brilliant corner there. He's 8/10 up. Is there anything this guy cannot do? 8/10 up. Get the right braking point, get into the corner, get that power down, and he's 1 second up, so he's going for a 2:03. Oh, and there it is, a 2:03.657. So Patricio has done a 2:02. Wow. I would have said 2:03 is an alien time. John Saunders with a 2:03.6 as well. These times are starting to tumble. So let's look at where the Group 2 races are battling at the moment. So the Group 2 races, Stefan Buckley with a 2:04.9. Brilliant, Stefan. And we've got Terry with a 2:05 and Christopher with a 2:05. Stefan's 3/10 quicker than them. Awesome job. And they've got Paul Moore with a 2:05. So 2:05 looks like the limits of the Group 2 guys at the moment. And yet we've got a Group 3 guy laughing at the front there. So I think it's going to be interesting to see where that ends up. 34 cars. Yeah, this could get messy. This could get really, really messy. And we've got Andy Lee's back on track today as well. I think he's had a bit of a timeout, and I think he come on to the race at the weekend, perhaps, or the Porsche Cup. I can't remember. Had a bit of a nightmare, but it looks like he's now back on track. So, in fact, what I need to do is provide you with the qualifying times, don't I? The fastest lap. And I can show you the lap delta as well. Now I want the real-time one. Let me see if I can find it, the delta. There you go. As you can see there, Peter's going faster again. Peter's going for a 2:03.3 as it stands. I'm going to jump back to Jonathan Wood. You can still see Peter's time in there. Jonathan Wood's nearly a second up. His best is a 2:05.0. So he's going for a 204. This is going to move him up potentially 2 places into 5th place. If he can get this going. Oh, he's in the Lambo. A lot of top speed on this straight. Get the car settled, get the power down early. Yeah, he's a second up, so he's going for 204 flat here. But yeah, I say it's only going to move him up 2 places, which you'd think a second would actually bring him right up the table. In this example, though it's not. It's 1.2. Oh yeah, he's going to 4th place. Great lap by Jonathan, that. Great lap. So Patricio and Peter are both going slightly quicker. Although Peter's not doing enough at the moment to catch Patricio. But he's now put a gap between himself and John Saunders. So let's go to Uwe Tholen. He's all sorry, we'll go to Mikhail. So Mikhail's 1.6 seconds up. His best was a 207. So he's looking to get into the 204s here. Sorry, the 205s. He's now looking like he's going to try and get into the 204s as he goes past. I think that's Hugh Morris in the blue Ferrari. God, the grid war's going to take me hours. I just realised. Getting down that grid shows. Hi Chris, welcome to the stream. Now I'm showing the stream as paused. Guys, can you just confirm you can see the stream? Because I've got it paused and it looks like it's paused early on. Right, I'm gonna.
It's okay, yeah.
Right, I'm just gonna do a refresh. Okay. I mean, it's obviously streaming. It's not stopping the stream, but yeah, that's better. I can see it now. I don't know if it went off slightly then, but. It's alright, I just letting everyone know I had to refresh. Okay. Right, so Mikhail did get into 7th place. Peter's down into the 203s flat now. And Patricio's into the 202s 5. So Patricio's absolutely flying. I'm going to jump back to Uwe. Uwe has done a 205.4. Some really good lap times coming in, actually. Interesting to see that. And a significant number of the group. I don't even know Uwe's parked it. Let's go to Mark Christopher. Mark Christopher's currently on a 205.2. And he's 4/10 up. Oh! That car, and that's exactly what I was on about before. If you get, if somebody goes off, you're a passenger. It just becomes a hit after hit after hit. He was on a good lap there as well, Mark Christopher. I'm going to go to Terry Howard, if I can find him. So Terry Howard 6/10 up at the moment. Hi, Andy. Timing board's not big enough. There's too many cars on track. I think this might be the most I've had to try and sort. This is going to be really interesting because God knows how I'm going to be able to do all the replays if there's incident after incident. Yeah, that's Sun Chris. Just as you're coming through the S's to the Big Dipper, it just absolutely annihilates you. Get a bit loose there, Terry. You managed to hold it. It looked like it was just starting to veer left. He's 1 second up though. Go for 207. I'm just looking at his top speed. So Peter was doing 278 at the end of this. Let's see how the Porsche does. 270, 272, 273, 274. 4 kph slower than Peter had in the Bentley. Quite interesting that. The speed difference between one of the faster drivers and one of the Group 2 drivers, shall we say. Whoa, he got a bit wide there. Proper bit of an oversteer there. I'm going to jump on board with Merch. Merch is going quicker again. So Merch is in the BMW. He's one of the drivers who switched. Chris is hungry. That's something I've never really heard before. I'm I'm lucky, I've just had pizza. Oh, I'm filled for the time being. Hi, Lee. The BMW definitely sounds a lower tone going through that walled section there. Oh, he got close there. He's lost all his time. So what we got left in qualifying? 4 minutes. Nikos is a second up. His best is a 2:09. That's a good corner. Got the power down well there. And that's pushed him up to 23rd. So looking good, Nikos there. And he's just gone wide there. That spoilt him a little bit. Back to John Saunders. John Saunders is currently 2/10 up. This is going to put him into 2:03.4s, but he's going to be nearly a second behind Patricio, who's currently sat on pole position. Mikhail Hoberg's also going 6/10 quicker. He's trying to break into the 2:03s. He's going to say he went deep there, but he managed to control the slide brilliantly. And he's still 2/10 up here. He's looking at 2:03.4, possibly a 2:03.3. Yeah, he's going for the 2:03.3 here. And there it is. Oh, 2:03.4. Just the 4:02. We've got 3 minutes left. Let's go back on Mark Christopher, who we know is doing really, really well. He's 6/10 up. This section in the middle here is all about keeping the power on as much as possible, but not to the detriment of hitting the wall. See, very close there. Very close there, but within limits of not hitting the wall. Yeah, he's just spoiled his lap there. He's still going 7/10 up. He could have, I feel he could have probably had that corner a little tidier. Fighting with his wheel through here. He's 7/10 up. Looking really good as he comes down to the Big Dipper. And it's that Lexus again. That darn Lexus he hit before. Close to that wall, but managed to keep it. He's 9/10 up. So he's going for a 2:04.3 here. Which will be a good time. That'll put him up into 8th position. Just in front of Stefan. He's now a 10th up. He's getting a toe off that Lexus now. That's really giving him an extra bit of a oomph on that straight. 1.1 seconds. He's lost a little bit there. You can see he got a bit of he had to correct his steering just to keep himself balanced. Yeah, he's lost a bit of time, so he's going for the 2:04s, 2:04s, 2:04.3. That's put him in 8th place. I think we'll see him ease off now. He's probably going to be worn out after that. Oof. Right, and Patricio in front. He's 4/10 up on a 2:02. Is this guy going to do a 2:01? He's 3/10 up. He's lost a bit of time there. He's lost a lot of time. That's just reeling off him. So I'm going to jump back. Oh, I was going to jump back. And John Saunders has done a 2:03 flat. So he's just behind Peter Wolfslener now. John Saunders. Patricio did go quicker. Jonathan Wood's going slightly quicker. He's not going to get 3rd place here. But he's certainly going to solidify his 4th place spot because Merch, who's behind him, isn't making any inroads. That sun's just going to stop being a problem at the end of qualifying, which is good to see. Richard McKay at the back. I'm just looking where Richard McKay is at the back. He's 9/10 up. His 2:08 is his best. He's looking to move up about 6 places, Richard. We'll keep an eye on that. Hugh Morris is looking to go up a number of places. He's 1 second ahead of his best. He's on a 2:08.5 and he's 1 second up, so he's going for a 2:07.5. We can take a little bit more off. And Kenneth Lingham's going quicker. He's 1.5 seconds. In fact, I'm going to switch back to Kenneth. Jonathan Woods lost his time. Oh, Kenneth was 1.5 seconds up. He's lost a lot of time here now. This is going to put him into the 2:07.6s, which is going to move him up 1 place. he could have moved up a lot more if he'd have kept his lap together. And in fact, Hugh Morris might end up catching and passing Kenneth here. Yeah, Hugh's doing a really good lap. In fact, Hugh's just behind him. So you can see Kenneth in front there. Kenneth's losing time. Hugh's going to leapfrog Kenneth at this rate. And he's going to gain a few more places as well. That's a great lap by Hugh. And that's going to put him in 20th place. So yeah, he leapfrogged Kenneth there. Brilliant lap. So Mikhail's out on lap. He's 7/10ths up. This could move him up into 4th place. But let's just sit on board with Mikhail at the moment. He's looking at a 4th place here if he can keep this together. Yeah, and it'll be comfortably 4th as well. If he carries on and gains another 1/10th, he could be getting pole at 3rd place here on the podium. Sorry, on the grid. And he's looking like it. Can he get the power down? He's just lost a bit of drive coming through there. And he's done it. 2nd place. Wow, with a 2:02.9. What a lap by Mikhail there. Absolutely stunning. Wow. Back after this break. Okay, let's go down for a very, very quick grid walk. It's going to take me half an hour to get down this. And there's another car joined since. The Patricio on pole in the BMW. Mikhail also in the BMW in 2nd. We've then got Peter in the Bentley. And we've got John Saunders in the Lexus. We've got Jonathan Wood in the Lambo. And we've got Mirch Paunov in the BMW. We've then got Mark Rogers and Mark Christopher in the PWS Aston Martins. We've then got Terry Trowbridge and Stefan Buckley in the Bentley and BMW. We've then got David Noble and Uwe Tholen in the Aston and the BMW. BMW starts to become favourite now. We've then got Laszlo Nemeth and Paul Moore in the Lexus and the Audi. We've then got Terry Howard in the Porsche and Andreas Pettersson in the McLaren. We've then got another Audi of Sean Vincent, a U racer, and Steve Howells. Welcome, Sean. He's joined recently. We have, I'm keeping up, Dimitri Stathos, I think it is, and Hugh Morris next on the grid. And then we have Richard McKay and Ian McFarland. We've then got Kenneth Lingham and Mike Dearlove, Nikos Margaritis and Kevin Torrance, Brian Banks and Krista Hjort, John Wilson and Andy Lees, Andy Skelton and David Blythe, Richard Columbe and Neil Bywater. And I'm unsure who that car is at the back, but I've got a feeling it's Danny Holtz. So I'm just going to confirm that because I can't actually see that from here, mainly because I can't see his name on the screen. So I'm just going to see if I can find out who it is, if the game will let me. So it is indeed Danny Holtz, so I was right. But Danny's joined the server late. He's doing the last to first challenge. And I want to say hello to Manuel Sousa. Hi Manuel, good to see you watching, my friend. Hopefully you've had time to sit back and reflect, and hopefully you've decided you want to carry on racing with this great group. Making lots of changes for the new season. Yeah, I thought it was Danny. I can tell by the colours of his car. So, are we going to see chaos and calamity or a pile up at Panorama? And it's lights out and away we go. So I don't expect much here, but I feel this first corner we're going to see braking going wrong. So let me just see if I can go back. And there's already one of the spinners. And another car being forced off. Quite a few cars with a few incidents. Laszlo, I can't keep up. There is too many cars going off track at the moment. Krista's off. Kevin Torrance is off. And we've got a car going slow across the track. And Neil Bywater, his car's stuck as well. So I read that as no fewer than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 9 incidents on lap 1. So that bodes well. Oh, and there's a mistake there. That's Andreas, is it, who's just hit the wall. Managed to bounce in front of David Noble and get away with it. Very, very... Very fortunate for David Noble there. Hi, Owen. Right, let's jump on board with Terry Trowbridge. Terry Trowbridge is putting pressure already on Steve Howells. We've got a good battle towards the back, though. A lot of cars. And you can see there, Danny Holtz in the BMW is absolutely flying. We're going to get contact there. Oh, we've got a bus stop. Oh, there's cars going everywhere. What the? That's Kenneth. Hugh. Wow. Let's have a... I don't even know how I'm going to replay back to that. I'm going to pick... I'm not too sure. Might have been Nikos. So, I'm guessing here. So we've got cars coming over the top. No, it's just in front of Nikos, isn't it? Oh, so Kenneth goes off. Oh, wow, pick the bones out of that, steward. That's all I'm going to say. Deary me. Absolute bedlam. Yeah, it was Hugh Morris who got hit. We had Stuart Vincent's been hit as well. He's off into the... No, he's made a mistake. That is not a contact. Sean Vincent is on the sand. There's changes going on all over the... I just really can't. I'm struggling here, keeping up with everything. 35 cars. Ah! Luckily, the group races and Stefan's off. Stefan's gone to the pits. I don't know what's happened with Stefan there. Let's have a quick look at what's happened to Stefan, see if we can work it out. Stefan's going very slow there. I don't know if he got the corner wrong. He must have some sort of problem because his car's not going well at all. And he's parked it. It looks like Stefan's parked it. Interesting. I don't know if there's any issues with him. His car, his controls. But yeah, we'll go back live and we'll go back to the front. Should switch in a minute. There you go. And Eric's joined the stream. Hi, Eric.
Hi guys, it seems Mark Rogers calls the turn 1 instance to be given a drive-through.
Right, okay. Excellent. So, yeah, there's quite a big impact. Was it on his teammate?
Hit the car in front of him, then hit his teammate afterwards.
Right.
Which then I think has caused the melee behind.
Right, that was quite a big melee. There's one through the top of the mountains as well. God knows what caused that. I think a car got out of control. And yeah, caused that first one. So we've now got another battle going on here. Now John Saunders is chasing down Mikhail. So Saunders in the Lexus, Mikhail in the BMW. And Terry's managed to pass Steve Howells. Our Merch has gone off. Merch has spun. He's looks like he's only tapped the barrier. But rejoining, he's going to have to be so delicate. His car's at such an angle. Oh, that was very close. He's going to get himself going again. That was very... Whoa, 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 whoa. That's... I think Merch got oversteer there. Wow. But you know what, Manuel? I'd love them to be safety cars. Someone driving round in a safety car in this lot.
Looks like car 14 is going to get penalty as well.
Okay, who's car 14? That is Danny Holtz. BMW.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's really gone through the field, so I presume he's took someone out, has he?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, Ricard. Yeah, I think you've joined a good one to watch. So we've got live stewarding, just for those in the stream, just so you're aware of it. We've got a bit of live stewarding going on. It is only meant to be fun. Obviously, the race, points-wise, has no influence. It does affect your SA, obviously, your racecraft. But what we're trying to do is just do a bit of a trial to see if live stewarding would actually work. And if people realise they're going to start getting penalties all of a sudden, it's going to make a massive difference, isn't it? You know, it means that dive you're going to make is no longer going to be a dive, because it could cost you the, you know, the wrath of the stewards. Losing, getting a drive-through in race has more of an influence than getting a 10-place penalty at the end of it, I would say, because it could put you back of the grid. Oof. This is certainly going to be fun. The GT4, the Porsche Cup. Wow. Really going to be good fun for it. I was going to race tonight, but I thought, you know what? Quite fancy streaming it. I did put my computer on to do a few practice laps. But I never got around to it because I don't know if anybody saw. And we've got a car off there. Sean Vincent's off. It looks like Jonathan Woods made a mistake, and he's been passed by both Mark Rogers and David Noble. Danny Holtz has made further progress. He's going through the field well, Danny Holtz here, but as the steward said, he is going to get a penalty for that. So we are expecting a penalty to occur. Oh, and he's off! Oh, he drifted that and got away with it. Wow, how did he get away with that one? He could have slammed the barrier sideways on there, really pushing. Really, really pushing. Andy Goddard, getting a drive through a Spa, that's 2 days wasted. It's your Friday practice and your Saturday practice gone out the window. I like that, Andy. I really do like that. So he's now, Danny's made the pass stick now. Yeah, it's not so much new rules, Ricard. We're just trying to. Obviously, we've had quite a few drivers suffering recently, and we really need to try and remove the incidents. You know, we've tried and tried and tried. It went very well for a period of time, and it just seems to have reared its ugly head again. So, you know, we're trying our best to try and think of different reasons. Live stewarding was one of them. Now, and Steve Howells has gone off. So that, I think Danny's going to catch Steve Howells now quite quickly. There you can see Danny. So Danny's really the man on a mission at the moment until he gets his drive through. And let's see what that takes. His corners are brilliant, to be honest. Let's just tell you what, let's jump on board with him. Let's see how he's doing it. Getting a good run. Let's see what top speed he gets. So the marker's 278. That's what we've seen Peter doing, and Andy Lees has gone off. Peter Wolfslaner got 278 in the Bentley. 270, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 279 the BMW. Actually, no, that's the Ferrari. That Ferrari's flying of Howells. That's the one. Oh, and there he goes for his drive-through. Hey, the drive-throughs are working. Oh, I like this. I do like this. Ricard, I've no idea. I think the point is, I was chatting with someone about it. I can't remember now. And the point is, if a steward, if we start getting quite strong with the penalties, they should become less. You know, that's really, I would expect to be probably a true explanation. So we're with Mark Christopher now. Mark Christopher's putting pressure on Dimitri, and Dimitri's putting pressure on Richard in front of them. But Mark Christopher's looking the quickest at the moment out of the pair of them.
Yeah, I've based the drive-through on for the drive being about 30 seconds rather than add it to the end of the race. Get it out of the way during the race time.
Yep, got you. But they're still having to go in. Oh, and there's a pass 3 wide. Wow, what a pass that was. So driver went wide. Oh, and Dimitri's not giving it up. I think we need to go to the helicam for this one. That was quite exciting stuff. I thought Mark Christopher had him then, but Dimitri just planted that foot in the big heavy Merc. That Merc uphill's obviously got a lot of grunt. Difficult track this, because you won't wing at the top part of the track, but on the Conrod straight you want limited wing. So you've got to get that balance right. Just so if you're on the straight you get the chance to pass somebody. You've got too much wing. Oh, and that's the car off. Dimitri's off. Now he's got away with that, I would say. The way he crashed, I'd say he didn't hit the barrier full on and he hit it sideways. So I think we're going to see Dimitri live to fight another day. You can see he's going to get himself going. He's not pitted, so I don't think his car's damaged. Let's just go inside and see if his steering's okay. Yeah, his steering's fine. It's not out of kilter. So that tells me he did hit the barrier side on.
Yeah, he did really well to keep it out of pit way as well.
Yeah, he did. He was very, very safe driving that. Yeah, the one with the pound off before, he'd stayed safe, but then had come across and nearly took someone out. Okay, I'm going to jump forward to Krista, because Krista's now caught up to Richard. Krista in the Aston Martin. He does drive the Ferrari, Krista, so I presume he's still testing cars out on the warm-up.
All drive-throughs have been served now as well.
Excellent. No choice, have they? To have that or a DSQ. Richard's having a great race in the Porsche. Oh, Krista's gone deep. He's really had to put the brakes on, and that's opened up. So what, that opened up. There you go. Got a BMW of Uwe and Danny Holtz. So Danny's not going to try and force his way through there. That is never a gap. That's going to end in tears if they try that one. No, backed out of it. But the BMWs are all over that Aston Martin like a rash. Danny's going up the inside. He's quick, Danny, isn't he? He's absolutely flying. So he's now got two Astons in front of him and then a Porsche. Well, let's see how he goes. So he's doing well, Danny, considering he served a drive-through. Krista's still on a mission. Krista's a good racer. He's a hard racer. Danny's getting a cracking drive. He wants to be careful there. Doesn't want to take him out. He's done it well. Held off. He just tapped the brakes just to keep the car balanced. That Porsche, that BMW behind's flying, but again, took it round the corners really well. A lot of sparks on the road as they go through that little kink through the top of the S's. And this is not a passing place, so wouldn't expect to see a car make a pass.
And I believe there's another BMW behind him, so that's going to be interesting to see what's going on.
Yeah, we got Uwe following behind him as well, so Uwe's having a great race in the BMW here, so I think we're going to see a double toe for Uwe. I'll tell you what, it's not flying, is it? I know Krista's got a toe off the Aston in front, but that BMW is not flying. I think the Astons give it a good run then. Oh, you could see he was too quick there. He was way too quick. He just wasn't going to hold up there. You could see that coming. And they're now both going to lose positions and track places. Are we going to get a safe join? Oof, just. Woohoo. Well, Danny Holtz there, you could see he just wasn't touching the brakes. And again, look at the speed difference. Oof. Andy Goddard's asking, will the BMW be reeled in with BOP? I would imagine it will. So the way BOP works, if I'm not mistaken, is BOP is track based. So there's a BOP applied to each car for the type of track. So if you think of the Bentley and the Mercedes, who have got massive engines in them, you'll see that they probably get bopped quite high on the likes of Paul Ricard. But around Hungaroring, they're probably bopped lower, because obviously they're not grunt tracks. So the BMW will probably get bopped quite high on here because it's walking away. It's absolutely annihilating the other course. Yeah, I agree, Owen. Next couple of weeks, it'll be brought in line. And all those early subscribers to the BMW will be saying, oh, I want to go back into the Bentley, or I want to go into the Aston Martin. Yeah, Frank, you're right. It's more like a BMW Cup. Everyone's trying the BMW. Can't fault him. That's the idea of a warm-up race, is to get used to the different cars. I'm going to jump forward now because there's a bit of a battle going on here. So again, in that battle, we have a BMW. And that's Merch. Merch is trying to pass Ian. And it looks like Merch has done it up the inside of Ian there. Ian didn't have the toe. And this is Mark Rogers. One of the PWS cars. Just announced PWS.
Patricio is pitting.
Sorry?
Patricio's pitting.
Oh. Wonder why he's pitting. Interesting. He might just wanted to jump on for a few laps. Yeah?
Oh, he had an accident.
Oh, did he? Oh, right. It was car damaged.
Yeah, he's got a floppy bonnet.
Did he hit the wall?
Yeah, it's hit the wall coming out of the coming down the Conway Straight.
Oh, right. So a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Uwe Tholen's coming into the pits as well. His bonnet's flapping. Oh, he nearly hit the barrier. So it's starting to take its toll now. A couple of laps in. 44 minutes to go, and that's the second car coming in. That's had an angry fight with Mr. Barry. Andreas is off track, but luckily he's off track on the grass. And John Saunders, it's reported, is going slow, but he's not. So gap now from Peter to John. Peter's now lapping back markers. It's 15 seconds. Peter's lapping nearly a second quicker than everybody else at this moment in time. So he's just walking off it literally into the sunrise, not the sunset.
Just going to say, I'm not going to give Danny a penalty because he waited as a gentleman.
He did indeed, yeah. That was correct. He waited. And I think there was only one place lost, wasn't there? A raft of cars didn't pass them.
Unfortunately, another car got involved in it. But that was the race incident, apart from that one.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's how I saw it as well. And I knew as soon as Danny held up, I knew what he was doing. And to be fair for a new guy, respecting our rules like that, respect for Danny for that. Krista's gone off. Oh, and Krista's in the pits. That's another one bites the dust. Richard McKay's off. It looks like he's at the barrier and bounced back onto the track. So, yeah, as I was saying, preciouswashers.co.uk. Proud to sponsor ACC TV and support the eSeniors, allowing us to carry on bringing what we're delivering. Without people like that and without the support and funding and donations, you guys wouldn't have nowhere to race. Well, you would, but it just wouldn't be as good as this place. Neil Bywater's putting pressure on Sean Vincent now. So Sean's a new racer. I think this is his first race with us. So he will be cutting his teeth for the first time with this group. And he'll either realise what has he left himself in for, or go away thinking, wow, I want more of that. So let's see how Sean feels at the end of this. As we know, Neil Bywater is quite a quick guy. And Neil Bywater's putting pressure on Andy Skelton now. So Sean Vincent's the one in the Audi behind. He's not losing. They're not losing him, though. Yeah, Neil's much quicker in the Aston. I think we'll see Neil take the Lexus down the mountain straight, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there you go. Neil Bywater going up the inside, and as we get to the little dip, I think you'll see the Aston just pull away a little bit, and he'll get the inside line. Or maybe not. No, he's braking later, Neil. He'll get the car turned in quite easily there. The Aston's good at that corner. Okay, let's go to Danny Holtz. Danny Holtz has just made another pass. Oh! And that was Richard McKay going off. He'd gone onto the curb to avoid. Now, is that steering issues there? Is he going to pit? Oh dear, that's a mess. Yeah, that's game over. That's a pit job as well. So Mark Christopher's being chased now by Steve Howells. Although on the straight, the Aston's dropping Steve Howells there. Although Steve's coming back at him now. So Steve Howells was racing in the Group 2 race at the weekend and had a fantastic third place. So big shout out to Steve Howells there for holding off Terry. As we know, Terry Trowbridge is a really quick guy, and if you can fight him off for the best part of 50 minutes, you know, definitely needs saluting. I'm talking about Mr. Trowbridge. Mr. Trowbridge is in 6th place. He is just getting on with it. Look at that. 6th place. And he's behind Jonathan Wood. And he's gained on Jonathan Wood, I think, because Jonathan Wood's showing his white flag. Although I'm not convinced as to the reason why, because there's no time improvement there at all. I'm going to jump forward to Mikhail, because Mikhail is now putting pressure on John Saunders. And Peter has pulled the lead out by a further 5 seconds. Peter is 20 seconds up the road. I'm sure he's on a different track. Or he's in a different... I don't know, he's in a different time continuum than we are. Because he's definitely... his clock doesn't work the same as ours, that's all I can say. Terry Howard's off. Dangerous place to go off there with the fast cars coming around the corner. Yeah, he's got it going again safely, luckily. Back to Sean Vincent. Sean's still putting pressure on now, but he's now gaining on Andy Skelton. But it'll be interesting to see Sean's racecraft here. Obviously, you get to see a lot of the drivers doing this. I've not yet seen Sean, so I need to learn Sean's habits. The sort of driver he is. Is he a risk taker? Is he a gentleman? You know, we've got them all throughout eSeniors. Taking a different angle through there, goes out wide, comes in close. Will give you a better drive. But this is a tricky section anyway. You're not bound by speed here, you're bound by the angles. Andy Lees is off. He's going slow, he's getting himself going again. That wasn't contact, that was a visit with Mr. Barry. You know, our friend Barry R. And Danny Holtz is now flashing a car in front. That must be a back marker. Whoa! That was a big off, that. So, I just want to watch that replay again. Because to me... I'm going to change the angle we normally drive at here. I need to find Danny. And I'm going to sit and board with Danny. Oh. I saw an Aston in that mirror then. Oh, that was unfortunate. God, I was going to say he got away with that, but his bonnet's up. That was a big hit. That was a big hit. And that's Danny into the pits. Pick the bones out of that one, Mr. Stewart. That, to me, looked like an intention was made to pass. And at the last minute, the car being passed moved over. Obviously can't see it from that driver's perspective. It reminded me of Verstappen on Hamilton.
I wanted to say the same thing, but I didn't want to get into Formula 1.
It did. It looked exactly the same, didn't it? Anyway, yeah, Chris did not finish. His race is done. We've got 33 cars left. There's currently 31 on track. One in the pits, one towards the back of the grid. Majority of cars are on either lap 11, 10 or 9. Oh, he's saying the game gave him a really poor frame rate. I've had that before, Krista. Oh, and he's taking a shortcut there. And I think I had that problem when it was the switch between NVIDIA Sync or, you know, the frame rate lock. And I had to switch it off. If it was streaming, I needed the frame rate lock on. If it wasn't streaming, I needed the frame rate lock off. And if I had the frame rate lock on while I was racing, I got like a stutter. Even though... Who's just made contact there? Just trying to work out with that. Was that Patricio made contact with Sean Vincent there? So Patricio's trying to get his way back through the grid. And he's made a bit of contact. Frankie is a little bit aggressive. He's a very quick guy. This is why the live stewarding is going to make a big impact for drivers who are aggressive. John Wilson's gone off. Luckily, he didn't hit a wall. He's got away with that one. So just stick with Patricio because Patricio's trying to get between Sean and Andy Skelton. And car 27 has been given a drive-through. And car 27 is Andy Lee's, and that will be for the little turn on the start on the Conrod straight. So it looked like Andy had gone right, and the intent to pass was to the left hand side, and then all of a sudden he moved over to the left. So obviously this is the stewards just trying to work out how we're going to do things, but it also gives the drivers an understanding of what's going to be tolerated and what's not going to be tolerated. We feel it'll upset a few people, but please remember, guys, this is a test. You know, we've got to do this at some point, and rather than do this in a race that means points, let's do it on a bit of a warm-up so it gives you that understanding of what's going to go on. So Patricio's had a bit of contact again. He's got past Sean, and he's now looking to pass Andy Skelton. We know on the straight he's just going to go for it. Yeah, you can just see the power difference. He gets so much drive out of his car compared to the other cars around him. That front end looks very twitchy though, very nervous. Must be like driving on ice. Yeah, you don't want to pass up here. Anyone trying to pass up here. Oh, and Sean's just hit the wall, just behind. But anyone trying to pass up here really does need a head testing. And it looks like Patricio realises that. He's waiting, he's abiding his time. You don't go around the outside there. No, no, no. He looked like he was going to. We got Peter catching them up. Peter is looking like he wants to pass Patricio. This I want to see. And is that why Patricio's trying to get away? Because he doesn't want to be lapped. This is exceptional stuff. Let's jump on board with Peter. Peter's done one. Oh, Patricio's took a car out. Oh, and that's going to go to the stewards. Let's have a quick look at what's gone on there. Patricio, that was a big, big impact. And it really took, I think that was Stefan it took out there, or Andy Skelton. That's Andy Skelton, isn't it? But Patricio was looking very, very, very quick there. So what went on? So we can see he's coming down. Oh, he's hit him. He's just hit him. Straight up the back end. Peter, great avoiding action there. Great avoiding action. And Peter's looking, and Peter's made it past Patricio. So, oof. I'll leave that one to you, Mr. Steward. I think it's interesting to see. Andy Skelton's off again. He's into the pits. That's completely understandable, and he's really struggling. You can see his car's not turning. Such a shame. He's keeping out of trouble there, and I think Patricio just misjudged where he was going to pass him and rear-ended him. So car 14 has got to stop. Oh no, they've been cleared. So car 14 has had a cleared stop and go. That was Danny Holtz. And I'm half expecting the steward's going to apply one now to Patricio as a result of that. But Patricio's looking really quick. He's now behind Sean Vincent again. So this is another, you know, Sean's just got on with this. He's had no grief. Now, Patricio needs to be careful. He can't do the same again. Come on, Manuel. You're better than that. We all make mistakes. Thing is, you acknowledge them. That's the big difference. Reporting yourself for the stewards, you know, very gracious. Drive you for car number 3, and that's Patricio. And he'll know exactly what that's for. So, Melvin, we're going to create a reporting sheet with guidelines on. The idea being that all stewards have literally got a same hymn sheet to sing from. Now, Sean's not. Sean is defending a little bit, but he's holding Patricio up. Now, if Patricio knows he's got a drive through, there's no point in him racing. I'd expect to see Patricio pull into the pits quite early on here. So there's a car in front of these two here. That's, yeah, someone's going into the pits there. I think that's Brian Banks. And Patricio staying out for another lap. Mark Rogers has had contact. And there's 2 cars stationary there. Let's see if I can do a replay on that, because that looked interesting. Let's go on board and see how that transpires. We've got a number of cars here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Big contact. Big contact. That looks like Andy Lees has hit the back of Mark Rogers, if I've got the car identity correct. The car at the back looked like it clobbered. Wow. And yet another one for the stewards to look at. So those who didn't realise stewarding was a full-time event, now they know. Oh, okay. Where can we go to? That's kind of like quieted it down a little bit now. So we're with here the BMW of Mikael Hogberg, and he's gaining, or he's keeping up with John Saunders. So, you know, these guys are clean. They've been keeping it really clean, and they're now catching Danny Holtz. So, and then behind them is David Noble's behind them. My apologies there, David. Just keeping up. Oh, contact on the barrier. Saunders got away with that one, and Neil Bywater's off. Oh, he's destroyed a sign. Is he going to get going right in the run of the lane? No. Bits flying everywhere. So that must have been... Let's have a see if we can do a replay of that. I'll just see what happened to Neil Bywater. So he's coming down. No cars near him. Comes over the crest. Whoa. That's got to be mechanical failure. That's got to be something wrong with the car. Yeah, something's definitely not happy there. There's been a change. I will switch back to this. I can't do replay. As you could see then, Mikael had a problem, and it allowed David Noble to pass. So David Noble's passed Mikael as a result of that that little incident there. And you can see David Noble is now going into the pits. So I don't know if he's got a penalty. I can't see whether there's a penalty or not been applied to David Noble. But he's definitely come into the pits for something. Maybe he wants to get off track because it's an absolute nightmare out there. Don't remember this many incidents in the last race we had here, you know. So I don't know what's going on here. Billy, hi Billy. You say, Stefan, use your brakes. See you, Ricard. So they're all now passing. There's a bit of a lag there. Whoa, what's happened to the game? It's gone really laggy. Well, the last time that happened, we had a disconnect. It's gone really laggy. I can't change anything there, guys. Let's see if I can get it back. It's gone... Oh, what's going on here?
It's looking fine here.
No, it's not. I can see it in the game and the stream. It's really laggy. There's cars bouncing around. Nikos's car's on a rubber band. Nikos's car's... I wonder if someone's got a lag problem here. There's definitely something wrong here. Right, I can't fix that problem because I don't think it's to do with the game that I'm seeing. I think there's a lit issue on the lag. Someone must have it. Yeah, there's cars bouncing everywhere. Let me see if I change the view and go on board with someone. If I change the view. Right, that's fixed the lag. Right, so it was the game thing. Right, it's smooth again now. Don't know what happened there. Wow. Maybe I needed to reset my engine.ini.
Did you say there was an incident with David Noble? I missed that one.
No, David Noble. I think there was an incident in front of David Noble. David Noble managed to pass, but he ended up in the pits, and I don't know the reason why. And he's not in the pits anymore. And he is back out in 9th place. So I don't know. Maybe he's just had tyre wear, and he thought it better because obviously it's a warm-up race. Just test, can't you? So Danny Holtz now is gaining Andy Skelton, and we already know these two have come together once, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's very aggressive, Danny, isn't he? Peter's now 32 seconds clear. Laszlo Nemeth is putting pressure on Merch. I'll jump to that one in a minute. Just see if Danny gets past, because this is for position. This is not back markers. This is for Danny passing and making a position on track. We've already seen Danny take another, you know, have an incident against him before. And you can see now Mike Dearlove's catching up behind them. And he's joined the party as well. But Danny's looking extremely quick. Without a shadow of a doubt, he's definitely Group 1 next season, without a shadow of a doubt. As is Mr. Nemeth, I believe, because he's fast as well. A couple more aliens into the mix. Looks like this Danny could shake a few things up. Patricio's gone off. I can't see where, and he's gone to the pits. So Patricio's made a mistake and gone to the pits there. And there you go, Danny again. He's flashing his lights. He can flash his lights all he wants. He's racing for position. You know, he's using it to put someone off. That's fine, but you can't request someone to pass if you're not passing them under blue flags. It's not a blue flag manoeuvre, so he's going to have to stick with it. And Andy Skelton's got every right to make that back of the Lexus as wide as possible, and it's up to Danny to try and pass him fairly. So
John Saunders. Going over what's it called now? About top of the hill.
Yeah.
In front of David. David missed him, but yeah, he clipped the wall.
Right.
John's now in the pits.
Yeah, that's what I thought. He come across him, didn't he? As he come round, he come across him, and
there was no contact.
Yeah, that's where Noble made the place. But I don't understand why Noble pitted, unless his tyres were shot. He's still not getting past Andy here, so Andy's putting a good fight up. Richard Cullum's past Steve Howells, but Steve Howells is in the pit. Someone else is pitted. Yeah, the lag's gone now. I've managed to find it. Oh, what's going on there? I completely missed that. I wasn't paying attention. What's happened there?
Andy and Danny.
So, I mean, this is not a passing place, is it? You know, when you come up through this section on the mountain, you don't pass there. He's got very close there. He always gets a good drive and goes for the outside corner here, Danny. And he's just punted him. Absolutely just punted him. And look, it's blocked the road. Oh, love that move by the Aston there. Is that the PWS Aston just going through the pair of them? Oh, dear. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. Oh, no matter how much we preach, eh? Yes, Andy and Melvin, totally. Oh, dear, dear, dear. I'm so glad I've said the new guys can't race in the championships after this. Might even be banning them from racing if the racing them on the Mondays at this rate. So Paunov is not racing here. He's trying to catch Terry Trowbridge. Steve Howells is off. Big slide, but he's only into the sand. He does keep the life. And as he spun into the sand, his tyres will only be affected from dirt. Quite an unusual place to go off at that angle, actually. You normally go off there and hit the wall. He must have slipped going into the corner. There's a lot of gaps on track now. There's no one really battling with anybody else. We've lost 3 drivers. A couple of drivers are stuck in the pits. Uwe's off. That's looking one very upset BMW. So what happened there? Just as he's come down, he's gone to the Big Dipper. By the looks of it. Got onto the Conrod Straight, and I wonder as he's powered it on the Conrod Straight, he's just absolutely put too much power down to the back wheels and gone straight into the wall. So he's come down here. Slight tap on that wall. Oh, and that's put him across. You can see his bonnet open there. And Brian Banks also had a very similar incident just in front of him. Brian Banks is going again, but he also had a bit of an incident very, very similar from what I could see. Oof. Back live again. Back to the chart. That's exactly it, Andy. That's exactly it. You know, the fast guys are fast and safe, not fast and reckless. And I think that's something that we do need to look at. You know, that's with the new plan of the licensing system, which we're thinking of introducing next season, he ain't going to be racing a lot. It's fair to say. You know, the racing, the licensing system is designed. Oh, that car was lucky there. Was that Dear Love? Yes, it was. The licensing system is designed in such a way to discourage that. Lap times, good point. We don't. Lap times, we got the gap. The lap times there, the fastest lap times, and there's the current lap times. You can see there's the lap times there, and what I will do is I will put the gap on the outside so you see the gap from the car in front. Sorry about that, guys.
So yeah, it's very difficult going up the hill following a back marker because they don't know what to do because you can't get the racing line because there's only really one line going through there.
Yeah, but it's a case of you still can't just hit someone, can you?
No, granted. So you have to wait for your moment. But
yeah, I think when I raced it, I think when we did this last season, it was a case of following a car through. But as soon as you get onto the conrod, they let you go. I think the issue is when a car gets on the conrod and then powers it, you know, just to add insult to injury.
Yeah, it's difficult because especially if you're in the leading group and you've got fast guys coming up behind you as well, and you get caught by a back marker, you don't want to lose that advantage that you've gained.
Yeah.
But in the same breath, they're going to come across that same person at some point as well.
So a question's just been asked. Can we have a pit stop counter? There you go. In the lead is Andreas Pettersson, followed by Terry Howard. We got a couple on 2 pit stops. So yeah, we do have that as well. I'm not going to put that on because that's really not fair. Come on, Billy. Right, so the so Peter's last lap was a 2:04.2. Mikkel Hoberg, who's in second place, was a 2:06. Jonathan Wood, who's in third place, was a 2:07. Terry Trowbridge was a 2:07. So you get to see the speed differences there. The only other person on track who's absolutely flying at the moment is Neil Bywater. His last lap was a 2:05, and Kevin Torrance has been off here. He's bouncing over the curbs, but luckily there's no impact and damage.
Danny got two time penalties of 30 seconds, so 15 seconds for causing a collision.
Yep, okay.
Which probably equates to a drive-through in terms. So places like Spa, I would say that a time penalty will be applied rather than a drive-through because we haven't got 5 minutes for a drive-through.
Yeah, Andy Goddard said it's 2 days, isn't it? So yeah, Melvin, 2 penalties were issued there rather than a drive-through. So his time will be added on at the end. 2 smaller incidents. Obviously taking out someone's completely different. So yeah, Peter's he's 43 seconds ahead. He's catching the back markers. Let's just sit on board with Peter for a bit. We'll go to the cockpit dash and we'll just see just how he's driving this car. He's faultless and flawless. He's coming up to Dimitri now. So Dimitri, you can see, he's clearly being waved through flags. Dimitri moves to the left, as you'd expect. Brilliant there.
And
just lets
him
go.
Peter lifted a little bit as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Just to make sure he did, didn't he? Just thought, just in case. Yeah. See, that's the difference in a good driver and a great driver, isn't it? Little things like that. Just gets the car rotating so well out of the corners. Don't know how he does it. That was me. I've been to the barrier.
It looks like he's lifting quite a bit as well, actually.
Well, he's still doing 2:04s. In fact, that last lap was a 2:04.2. It was even faster than his last lap. He gets the power down really early, doesn't he?
Oh, sorry, I've got the game on as well as your stream.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's fine.
So I'm hearing 2 engine notes going on.
No, I understood that. Yeah. So Sean Vincent's off. Let's just jump to Sean. He is going again, so he must have just gone wide. For his car, he's certainly not got a flappy bonnet, and someone in front has gone wide a little bit. That looked like that was. I'm trying to think if that was Danny Holtz in front. That's the yellow. Is that BMW? It looks like it.
Yeah. What's good is the guys are carrying on as well. They're getting their penalties, but they're carrying on.
Well, at the end of the day, what's the point of spitting your dummy out? we've said this is a bit of fun and we're going to try it. You know, and the feedback, Billy's just said respect, you know, for trying to live steward. I think it's quite interesting to give it a try, because, you know, when's the right time? He is Manuel, isn't he? How smooth is he when he drives, Peter? Not a fault, is there? Every lap is consistent. Let's go back to Peter again, because he is catching back markers up, isn't he? Well, this is David Blythe in front of him. David Blythe will move over and Peter just goes. Absolutely hammers it. Is that Peter putting his hazards on there then? Or is he actually changing his bias on his brakes because he's changed it? He's pressed the left button then. Is that his indicators or what? I don't know.
we have lost a few people from the stream. From the race, sorry.
Yeah, we have. We're down to we've lost a couple of cars and there's a couple of guys sat in the pits. So yeah, I'm aware we've lost some. Some have spat the dummies out. I fully get that.
No, I think some of the guys that have admitted that they caused a problem, they've just gone and parked it, I think.
Right. Been a good exercise. It shows it can be done.
And I think some of them have gone. I can't cope with this anymore.
Yeah. Not another penalty.
Not another wall.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? So Mark Christopher's in the pits. He's obviously had a problem. Not seen him have a problem. His lap times had really suffered though. His best lap time was really quick. Yeah, he's obviously had a problem because his last lap time was a 2:11. I think he's hit a wall and he's struggling now. Richard Columbe's had a problem. He's going again now. Luckily his car doesn't look damaged. I mean, if nothing else, this is great practice for the weekend, isn't it? Let's face it.
So the 2 and 3 are fairly close together.
Oh, Richard's getting a bit loose there. Yeah, just a couple of comments in the chat there. I think it's a go with this live stewarding. Drivers need to accept every decision. Well, they can't really appeal, can they, Andy, when you've been put in the pits for a stop and go? If they appeal by staying out, they get disqualified. It's as simple as that. So, you know, it's one way of taking pressure off the stewards, because no penalties need to be issued after the race unless there was an incident that wasn't seen by the stewards in the race, which is highly possible. But that would become the exception rather than the norm. And all we need is a couple of stewards live, 2 or 3 stewards doing it live, rather than one to look at all the decisions, and then you've got an answer to what's going on. Well, at the end of the day, Andy, no one stays around to moan. They just get into Discord and start chatting. But once the decision's made, the decision's made.
Yeah, this may eradicate some of them late braking moves.
It will, yeah. I think Billy's right there.
I think we've seen far too many of them lately.
Well, Kyle Army was ridiculous. The number of people braking late at Kyle Army. And the thing is, they're allowed to carry on. Whereas if they're put into the pits after the first incident, not only are they a different part of the track, but they've got a lesson to learn, haven't they? So we've got Sean catching John Wilson up here. So this is a good battle. Let's see how fast Sean's going in the Audi.
So I don't know their times, but this is for 11th and 12th now.
It is, yeah. So I think this is Sean's first race, and he's probably loving it, to be honest. That's a great pass against John there.
And I think John, that's his highest position so far, I think.
It is, yeah. John's having a good race as well. Yeah, Sean's looking a decent driver. He's very, very clean. Very clean. Let's just ride on board with him, because say we've not seen Sean race before. A little bit deep into that corner. He could have took the apex closer. I am picking here. I'm being really picky. You can see he's pulling away from John Wilson. If you've not hit the like, come on, I know it's only a warm-up race, but still, the like and subscribe button if you've been watching. And don't forget our sponsors, PWS, Clean Equipment, Precious Washers.co.uk, sponsoring the PWS eSports cars, and proud sponsors of ACC TV, for the eSeniors, allowing us to bring this great service to you whenever we can, to wherever we can. Well, Melvin, the penalties in relation to the stop and goes are communicated through the game as they always have been. So that doesn't change. And let's face it, you can't do anything about a time penalty. There's no point in pitting. So in relation to that, if you've got a time penalty, it just gets added on at the end. And, you know, you can see that in game. But if you're using VR, that's just a different thing. Yeah, I agree with that, Chris. If it's consistent, it's good. I think this Sean Vincent's looking a great little driver. I mean, you say little, I've not seen the guy, but, you know, he's looking really tidy. Ian McFarlane's now in the pits, so he must have had damage to his car. Tell you what, the races, GT4, the Porsche Cup, the Constructors, oh, it's going to be carnage with cars going into the pits every 5 minutes. Bit of a shout out to Jeremy as well. Jeremy is on the mend. I can assure you that. I've had a good conversation with Jeremy over the last couple of days. And he's much better today than he was yesterday. From my perspective anyway. We did some activity at lunchtimes to get, his morning, my afternoon, earlier to get some things sorted. And he's definitely on the mend. So I think as his confidence builds up again with, you know, him not feeling too bad, I think we'll see him back behind the wheel. You know, he's been doing the administration. That hasn't stopped. But he's just not really had the energy to race. But I think, well, he might see this and think, I'm going to give this one a miss. Or I do think we'll see Jeremy back behind the wheel before we know it.
What's interesting now is Danny is now caught up with the second place car.
All right, let's go to Danny.
And he's harassing him.
I'm trying to find him. Oh, come on, where is he?
He's pushing him to go faster anyway, at least.
Danny Holtz. Yeah, I'm going to jump onto Danny then.
But Jonathan is catching up. He's gained 2 seconds the last 2 laps in this process.
Yeah, Peter's 51 seconds clear now. That's ridiculous, Chris, isn't it?
I think he's going to get us a coffee.
I think he's pulled over, had a brew and gone back out again. He could go in the pits and come out.
Is there not a burger bar and go and park up for a minute?
I don't know. Ollie says there's somewhere to eat there. So, Derek, who do you want us to pick on? Okay, Stefan, fully understand. Family means a lot, mate. So, still good fun, though.
No, I think Jonathan's licking his lips right now.
You think? Wait to see what happens next. I tell you, that Danny's quick, isn't he?
No, if it was me, I'd let him pass.
Tell you what,
I'm not racing him, so let him go.
Yeah. Jonathan Wood's looking quick behind as well, isn't he, in the Lambo?
Yeah, but the Hoiberg's looking at his mirror going, go away, go away, go away. Just let the man go.
Oh, we've had an incident. What's gone on here? So this is Terry and Merch. So Merch is in the BMW. Terry's in the Bentley. And we've got a car in front of them with a blue flag. Oh, that's Merch definitely taking him out there. And that looks like that's Terry's steering on.
And if he's 4th place.
Yeah. I think that one's definitely one for the stewards to review because he actually gone off track there then, I think, Merch. So, yeah, I think bit of a shame, that one. And Merch carries on regardless. You know, sometimes that's the way it is. So Jonathan Wood's still trying to... I mean, I'll jump back to Mikhail. Jonathan's going for a podium here. That would be fantastic. Mikhail's one of the guys who's rebuilt his PC recently. You want to see the spec of his machine. My God, he could run NASA off it. It's ridiculous. He was getting rid of one machine, and not kidding you, that machine would have ran the Earth's orbit, and he's now got one that's going to run the atmosphere. It's unbelievable. Don't know where he's getting his parts from, but And Merch has gone off. Merch has made a mistake just behind them. Derek, you see, he did really well there, Sean. Whoa! Jonathan Wood with the send it moment. He really... I know he says there sometimes, just send it, just send it. But my word, did he just send it? He got past Danny. Really went for it then. Really went for it. I mean, that's you could say it's gaining an advantage, but he's not racing Danny for position. So you could argue it's not gaining an advantage. Andy Skelton's gone off. He's just getting going again. I am going to go back to the front. Steve Howells is catching Richard. He's getting a very good run out of that corner. I'm going to go back to Jonathan. Jonathan is managing to hold up. Whoa, we've got a car parking up. That's Terry Howard. Yeah, I think that was Terry Howard's just gone to the pits. And I think that's Neil Bywater going through the Aston there. Neil's on a cracking run here. I think this is one of Neil's had. I think this is one of Neil's best runs recently, actually. Oh, that was sneaky there. Steve Howells making a pass under blue flags. Not allowed to do that. Yeah, because I think he passed Richard under blue flags there as he went past. That's something we communicate, I think, in stewarding. The fact that Howells is not allowed to make a pass under blue flags. So I'll manage that in Discord later, just to make him aware that if he does that in a race, he'll have one lap to give it back, or he'll get a drive through, or it's at 5 seconds, isn't it? For not giving the position back, actually.
Indeed.
Yeah. And Laszlo Nemeth's gone off.
That'll be coming soon.
Yeah, Laszlo Nemeth's just parked his car up in the middle. You're not going to spin it round from there. Whoa! Deary me. Where's he going to put it? You don't have steaming locks on them. This is going to end messy. No, he's give up. Wow. Neil Bywater's now in 5th as a result of that. And Mark Christopher's now in 6th. Don't forget, Mark Christopher's been pitted as well. If you take his pit stop, he'd have been ahead of Neil Bywater. Jonathan Wood is now caught up with Mikhail. And he's got this Lambo really switched on late on in the race. And those are only 2 minutes to go, but he's really put pressure on. He's going for it. He's looking at it. He's not going for a send, is he? Not through here, you're not. No, oh, there's Andreas. I think we're going to see a pass on the Conrad straight me here. I saw something then for a car. What was that message that appeared then? I missed that. A 5-second penalty. Okay, I think there's a 5-second penalty issued. The car 69 causing a collision. Merch Panorama, yep. We'll ask for feedback on the live stewarding. I'll tell you now, all them ones who benefit from it will say, fantastic, all them caught out by him, like, no, we don't want it anymore.
That's why that was difficult because, you know, they were going for an overtake on the back marker and he knew Terry was in front going for it, but he went on the outside as well.
Yeah, you can't leave track to make a pass, can you, anyway? So we're with Peter.
He was borderline being on it.
Yeah. So we're with Peter now. Peter's on his last lap. He's coming down the mountain straight. Going to get himself into quarry. We'll do this last lap with Peter. A bit of faultless drive this from Peter. I think he raced either last Monday or the Monday before, got took out quite early on, so I think this might give him a bit of trust back in the races. Just coming up through Griffin's Mountain Reed Park here now. And then Frog Hollow. And as you can see the sign says Stelman. So close to that wall, isn't he? He's not lifting off at all. How the hell is he doing that? And he's still putting power down through there as well. That's an art, isn't it? I'm glad so far, guys. You seem to approve of it anyway, from a watching spectacle anyway. Peter's flying here. Yeah, he's coming down the Conrod now. Into the final section of the race. I think it's fair to say he's dominated. Nearly a minute clear. Gets it so nailed. Oh, he doesn't want a car going off this late. Oh, that's Nikos. Oh, he's easing off. He doesn't want to risk it colliding with Nikos. Nikos has gone deep again. Look at that. He doesn't want to risk it. What a race, Peter. What a race. Absolutely dominated. And Mikhail. Well done, Mikhail. Excellent battle, that. Bit of damage on the car. Looked like a good race there for Mikhail. He'll be messaging me after saying how much he enjoyed it as well. And Jonathan Wood.
It ain't over yet.
No, it's not over yet. I'm watching. I'm waiting for that lunge. The send it that Jonathan Wood says, but Danny Holtz is looking like he's going to try and send it.
No, I think Jonathan will be happy with third. Oh, no, he's aggressive.
Yeah, I think he'll be happy with third as well, to be honest. I don't think he... If you asked him where he expected he was going to finish, I don't think he'd have said third, if I'm being honest. I could be wrong, but it's good to see him racing again. Look at that. First, second and third. David Noble. He's had a great race as well. And he's pitted, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a pit stop, yeah.
Fourth place after pitted. Neil Bywater and Mark Christer's places are locked in now because they were on track. I think what's going to be interesting, Billy, is if any of these guys who have raced watch the stream back and just realise what has gone on without them realising on track. You're welcome, Derek. Thanks very much. Oh, Natty, what are you doing? Live stewarding, mate. It rocks. This has been brilliant. We had 33 cars on track at one point. David Noble there with a great finish. The only one who's not registered at the moment is Kenneth Lingham because he were again where he was on track. And he comes over. That's it, my friends. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Mr. Steward.
No problem. I think the group races will be a lot quieter than this, though.
I do. There's not as many cars on track, but I still think we'll get plenty of offs, if I'm being honest. But yeah, thanks to the stream for watching. Really appreciate you all giving your Mondays up to watch the rest of the group have a bit of a warm up. But I enjoyed it, to be honest. So hopefully you have. So thanks very much, Mr. Steward, and see you all for the Constructors' race tomorrow.
Goodbye, thank you.